Hello students, I am Suja Shaju. Welcome to today's biology class. In the last class, we discussed about the role of microbes in household products and industrial products. And we discussed about the role of lactic acid bacteria. We discussed about the role of different kinds of microorganisms in the production of alcohols, in the production of chemicals, in the production of antibiotics, in the production of enzymes, as well as bioactive molecules. Now in today's class, let us discuss about the role of microorganisms in sewage treatment. In order to understand this, first we should know what is sewage. Sewage is a common term which you all know. You all must have seen this kind of sewage flowing through canals near our houses. Right? Haven't you all seen this kind of sewage? Right. What all can you see inside this? You can see number of large amounts of floating debris. Some things are floating. Right? There is black colored water. Then you can see this is what is called as sewage. So let's see, how can we define sewage? Sewage can be defined as the municipal waste water. Right? It is the municipal wastewater containing large amounts of organic matter, human excreta, and disease-causing microbes. So what all are found in the municipal wastewater? There will be large amounts of organic matter, there will be large amounts of human excreta and disease-causing microbes. These disease-causing microbes are called as pathogens. We have studied about it. Okay, now what do you mean by organic matter? Organic matter refers to large source of carbon-based compounds found within natural, terrestrial and aquatic environment. So the organic matter is nothing but carbon-based compounds which is found in the nature, and it is usually formed from the remains of plants and animals and their waste products. So now, in the sewage, when we talk about organic matter, what does it mean? It means the waste which is present in this sewage. That is the food waste. It can be food waste, it can be plant waste, it can be remains of plants, it can be remains of animals, and so on. And it also contains human excreta and disease-causing microbes. So hope you got the definition of sewage. So what is sewage? Let's see once again. It is the municipal waste water containing large amounts of organic matter, human excreta and disease-causing microbes. Now, have you ever thought where does the sewage finally end up? Can we release this sewage directly into water bodies? No, we cannot release this sewage directly into water bodies like rivers, oceans or seas. It has to be treated before it is released into the water bodies. And this treatment of sewage is called as sewage treatment. It is done with the help of large tanks and certain machines, and such a plant where sewage is treated is called as a sewage treatment plant. Now, sewage treatment is done in two main steps. The first step is called as the primary or the physical treatment, and the second step is called as the secondary or biological treatment. So which are the two steps in sewage treatment? Primary or physical treatment, and the second one is biological or secondary or biological treatment. Now let's see the first one. What is that? Primary treatment. Primary treatment or physical treatment does not involve any microorganism. It involves two major steps, major processes. One is filtration and the other one is sedimentation. Now you all know what is filtration. The floating debris or the lighter particles, as you have seen in the previous picture, when sewage is flowing through the canals, we can see number of floating debris like plastic waste, plastic cover, then paper and all those. So those are the floating debris. So floating debris has to be removed by the process of filtration. You know what's a filtration? Filtration is nothing but removing the floating debris with the help of certain wire meshes. Just like your mother strains the tea powder. After making tea, she sieves it using a sieve, right? The tea powder will be sieved, and the same way the floating debris can be removed by the process of filtration, that is lighter particles. And the second one is sedimentation. The heavier particles will be allowed to settle down. Okay, so these are the two steps involved in primary treatment, which are the filtration and sedimentation. So here you can see floating debris is removed by filtration, and the grit means heavier particles consisting of small pebbles and soil will be removed by sedimentation. So these are the two major steps involved in primary or physical treatment. Now, the sediment which gets collected, the sediment, so here you can see the floating debris is removed. Here you cannot see any floating debris, right? And this is a primary treatment tank. So here the floating debris is removed, and what settles down, that is called as a primary sludge. As a result of sedimentation, what settles down is called as the primary sludge. This can be used for land filling, where there are big holes or big trenches developed due to certain mining process or some other purpose. This sludge can be used for filling that land. That is why it's written here land filling. That means sediment is called primary sludge, which can be used for land filling. And the supernatant means the liquid which gets collected above the sediment, that is called as the primary effluent. Primary effluent. Hope you got it. So primary treatment involves two major processes, which are the first one filtration, second one sedimentation. As a result of filtration, what happens? The floating debris will be removed, and sedimentation involves the removal of the heavier particles, that is the small pebbles and soil. It is removed by sedimentation. The sediment which gets collected is called as primary sludge, and the supernatant liquid is called as, supernatant means the liquid part which is found above the primary sludge, that is called as primary effluent. So that's all about primary treatment. Hope it's clear. So here there are no microorganisms involved. Now let's see about the secondary treatment. Now secondary treatment, as I've told you, it's also called as biological treatment. Why? Because microorganisms are involved in this step. Microorganisms, both aerobic microorganisms as well as anaerobic microorganisms are involved in the secondary treatment process. That is why this treatment is also called as biological treatment. Okay, now let's see what happens here. So the primary effluent which is formed after primary treatment is then passed into large tanks. Here you can see this is a large tank where the primary effluent is passed, and it is passed into a large aeration tank. Now the meaning aeration means the air is pumped into it. Air is pumped into it means oxygen is supplied into that, and then it is agitated mechanically. Agitated means it is stirred mechanically. So using certain devices, the water which is present in the aeration tank, that is a primary effluent which is now in the aeration tank, will be agitated and air will be pumped into it. When air is pumped into this, what happens is the microorganisms, we have seen that number of microorganisms will be present in the sewage. So the microorganisms, especially the aerobic microorganisms, start consuming the organic matter which is present in the sewage. So the organic matter present in the sewage will be acted upon by the aerobic microorganisms, and since air is pumped into it, there will be vigorous growth of microorganisms. That is, this means the air which is pumped into it allows the growth of aerobic microbes into flocs. Flocs means the masses of bacteria associated with fungal filaments. That is, aerobic bacteria along with fungal filaments. This is a floc. Here you can see. So these are the flocs which are formed as a result of aeration, or as a result of pumping of air into this large aeration tank. So there will be vigorous growth of microorganisms. Which microorganism? Aerobic microorganisms. And these microorganisms along with the fungal filaments is called as floc. Okay. So hope you got it. Now, the sewage will be treated the same way. So that means sewage will be allowed to be in the aeration tank, and it will be agitated constantly. Air will be pumped into it till the BOD is reduced. Now let's see what is BOD. BOD, the expanded form of BOD is biochemical oxygen demand. Once again, biochemical oxygen demand. Very important. That is BOD, biochemical oxygen demand. Now let's see what is biochemical oxygen demand. It refers to the amount of oxygen that would be consumed if all the organic matter present in 1 liter of water were oxidized by bacteria. Once again, BOD refers to, very important from examination point of view, you may get this question, define BOD and what is its significance. So you have to study this definition by heart. Once again, it refers to the amount of oxygen that would be consumed if all the organic matter present in 1 liter of water were oxidized by bacteria. Now let me explain what's the meaning of this. It means, in a very simple term, we can say the amount of oxygen required by the microorganism, that is aerobic bacteria, to break down the organic matter present in 1 liter of water or present in the given sample of water. Means, when you take just imagine you have with you 1 liter of polluted water. Now what will be present in that polluted water? Organic matter will be present and aerobic microbes will be present. And what is the function of aerobic microbes? Its function is to consume or decompose or break down the organic matter which is present in that 1 liter of water. So the microorganism, the aerobic bacteria, start using the oxygen which is present in that 1 liter of water. For what? For the breakdown of the organic matter. So the amount of oxygen which is utilized by the bacteria in order to consume or in order to break down the organic matter is what is called as biochemical oxygen demand. Hope it's clear. Once again, it refers to the amount of oxygen. So divide this definition into 2-3 parts. First part is amount of oxygen. Now who is using this oxygen? It is used by the bacteria. Which kind of bacteria? Aerobic bacteria. For what? For consuming the organic matter. Where is this organic matter present? It is present in 1 liter of water. So once again, it refers to the amount of oxygen that would be consumed, means that will be utilized by the bacteria. For what? For converting the organic matter present in 1 liter of water. Okay, so this organic matter will be oxidized by the aerobic bacteria, and for that the aerobic bacteria requires what? Oxygen, and this amount of oxygen is called as BOD, or in short we can say it is the amount of oxygen required by the microorganisms to break down the organic matter found in the given sample of water. Okay, so greater the BOD, greater will be the pollution. right? So now what is it? What is the significance of BOD? BOD test measures the rate of uptake of oxygen by microorganisms in a sample of water. Thus, it is a measure of organic matter present in water. So, if we can calculate the rate of uptake of oxygen by the microorganism, we can calculate the how much organic matter was present in that water. So, greater the BOD, more is its polluting potential. So, sewage water, what will be the BOD of sewage water? It will be very, very high. And after treatment, after primary treatment and secondary treatment, that is first step or stage of secondary treatment, that is after the primary effluent is passed into aeration tanks, after the growth of aerobic microbes into flocs and allowing the microorganisms to consume the organic matter in that tank or in that primary effluent, what happened? The BOD slowly reduces. Hope you understood. So how the BOD reduces? Due to the action of microorganisms. Which kind of microorganisms? Aerobic microorganism. So what is the role of aerobic microorganisms here? It consumes the organic matter present in the sewage. Hope it's clear. So what is the role of aeration tank? The role of aeration tank is to reduce the BOD. How the BOD reduces? By the action of aerobic microorganisms on organic matter. Hope it's clear. Okay, so what is BOD and what is its significance? Now once the BOD is reduced, what is the next step? The effluent means which is now there in the aeration tank is passed into another tanks called as settling tanks. So first one was aeration tank. Now it is passed into the next tank which is called as settling tank. From there the word itself, it's very clear. So in the aeration tank, flocs were formed. What are flocs? Masses of bacteria associated with fungal filaments. Now these flocs will be allowed to settle. Now this sediment is called activated sludge. So in primary treatment we have seen which sludge? Primary sludge. What is primary sludge? The sludge, the sediment which is formed after removing the floating debris, after filtration, what gets settled down, that is called as primary sludge. Now this is activated sludge. Now activated sludge is nothing but the flocs which are formed, which gets settled in the settling tank, which is passed from the aeration tank. So in aeration tank, what has happened? The aerobic microorganisms have consumed or have broken down the organic matter, and there will be vigorous growth of microorganisms resulting in the formation of flocs. And now when this effluent is passed into the settling tank, the flocs get settled down. And this settled floc is called as the activated sludge. Now a small part of the activated sludge is pumped back into aeration tank as inoculum. We have seen the word inoculum earlier also. Which context have we seen inoculum word? Do you remember? Yes. Where is it? The inoculum. Curd is used. A little bit of curd is used as an inoculum when we convert milk into curd. Right. So inoculum is nothing but a starter. Now why this small part of the sludge is added into aeration tank? Because in aeration tank, if the microorganism, aerobic microbes in the beginning may be less in number. So if we add a little bit of this activated sludge contains what? It contains aerobic microbes along with fungal filaments. So we are adding that into aeration tank. It will allow vigorous growth of microorganisms and the breakdown of organic matter. So a small part of activated sludge is pumped back into aeration tank as inoculum. What happens to the next? Activated sludge is then passed into large tanks called anaerobic sludge digesters. Now, after this, from the settling tank, this activated sludge, major part of a little part is pumped back into the aeration tank, and the remaining part will be pumped into large tanks called as anaerobic sludge digesters. Very clear, anaerobic. Here there will be the growth of anaerobic microorganisms. So there will be no air. Oxygen will not be present in this kind of digesters. That is why this tank there will be no oxygen, and there will be growth of anaerobic microorganisms. So aerobic microorganisms cannot grow in this tank, that is the anaerobic sludge digester. So here in anaerobic sludge digester, what happens is anaerobic bacteria digest and kill aerobic bacteria and fungi in the sludge. As a result of that, during this process of anaerobic digestion, what happens is a mixture of gases will be produced. Which are the gases which will be produced? Methane, hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide. These are the three main gases which will be produced as a result of anaerobic digestion. Anaerobic digestion, these gases will be produced, that is by the action of anaerobic bacteria. Methane, hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide will be produced, which is called as biogas. You must have heard about biogas, and we'll be studying about biogas in detail in the next class. So for the time being, you should know that when the activated sludge is passed into anaerobic sludge digesters, what happens is the anaerobic bacteria act on the aerobic bacteria and the fungi and kill the aerobic bacteria and fungi. And during this process of digestion, a mixture of gases like methane, carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide will be produced, which is called as biogas. This biogas can be used as a fuel, as a source of energy. Now what remains after this anaerobic digestion, that is the effluent from the secondary treatment plant, is now ready to be released into water bodies, because the BOD of the effluent will be very less now, because the secondary treatment is completed. So organic matter is completely broken down. So now the BOD will be completely reduced and it is safe now for this water to be released into water bodies. So this is how after secondary treatment, the sewage, now the water will not be that polluted, or it is safe to be released into water bodies. Hope it's clear. So that is all about sewage treatment. So now let's once again summarize the whole process of sewage treatment, very important from examination point of view. So when it is asked as a 5-mark question, you need not write the definition of BOD or the significance of BOD. You have to only write about the main steps. The first step is what? First you have to write what is sewage. What is sewage? Sewage is the municipal wastewater containing large amounts of organic matter, human excreta, and this is causing microorganisms. Sewage treatment involves two major steps, which are they? The primary treatment and the secondary treatment. Primary treatment is also called as physical treatment. Secondary treatment is also called as biological treatment. Primary treatment involves two major steps, that is filtration and sedimentation. Then primary sludge is formed as a result of sedimentation, and the supernatant which is collected after filtration and sedimentation is called as the primary effluent. Now secondary treatment. Secondary treatment is also called as biological treatment. Hope it's clear. Hope you are able to understand. So primary treatment, two steps you have to remember. What is filtration and sedimentation? What is filtration? The floating debris, the lighter particles will be removed as a result of filtration, and the heavier particles get settled down by sedimentation. That the particles which get settled down is called as the primary sludge, and the supernatant is called primary effluent. Now the primary effluent is then passed into large tanks called as aeration tanks. So when you see the word aeration, you should remember oxygen is pumped into it or air is pumped into it, and it is agitated mechanically. This allows what? Growth of aerobic microbes. Growth of aerobic microbes along with fungal filaments is called as phlox. So the second step in secondary treatment is formation of phlox. Where does this happen? In the aeration tank. Now as a result of this, now what happens? The aerobic bacteria digest the organic matter or break down the organic matter present in the sewage. As a result of that, the BOD reduces. What is BOD? Biochemical oxygen demand. Now the effluent is then passed into, once a BOD is reduced, the effluent is then passed into settling tank. Very clear? Settling tank. means settles down. What settles down? The flocs, the microbial flocs get settled down, and this is called as the activated sludge. Then a part of activated sludge is again pumped back into aeration tank as inoculum, and the remaining activated sludge is then passed into anaerobic sludge digesters. For what? These anaerobic sludge digesters contain anaerobic bacteria or anaerobic microorganisms which digest and kill the fungi, aerobic bacteria and fungi, so that the BOD will be still reduced. So now the water or the water which is present in this anaerobic sludge digesters can no more be called as a sewage, because the BOD is completely reduced, and now the effluent from the anaerobic sludge digesters will be acted upon by the anaerobic microbes, and they digest the aerobic microbes and fungi, resulting in, during this process, that is during this anaerobic digestion, there will be the formation of biogas. What is biogas? It is a mixture of gases containing methane, hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide. Then now the effluent is ready to be released into water bodies. Why? Because the BOD will be very, very less. So these are the major steps involved in sewage treatment. So you can expect this as a 5-mark question. Explain the steps involved in sewage treatment. Sometimes they will ask only to explain the aerobic process or the biological treatment involved in sewage treatment. So biological treatment means you have to write only about the secondary treatment. If they ask explain the steps involved in sewage treatment, you have to write both primary treatment and secondary treatment. So if you write only these points, you may not get full marks. This is only the major steps involved. You have to explain each and every step. So this is just for your easy for you all to remember it easy. These steps help you to remember all these stages easily, and you have to explain each step. So when you write about primary treatment, filtration and sedimentation, you have to remember filtration means what? The floating debris or the lighter particles are removed. Sedimentation means what? Heavier particles are settled down. So then what is primary effluent? What is primary sludge? All these things you have to explain. Hope it's clear. So that is about the sewage treatment plant. Now our Ministry of Environment and Forest have taken two action plans. One is Ganga Action Plan and another one is Yamuna Action Plan. These are the two action plans initiated by the Ministry of Environment and Forest to protect our major rivers. Now, why this was done? Because in 2017, it was found that all over the world, it was the Ganga River which is having the maximum pollution, and the BOD level of Ganga river water was found to be the highest compared to any other rivers in the world in 2000, according to 2017. After that, the Ministry of Environment and Forest have initiated these two plans to clean the this two rivers, mainly the Ganga river and the Yamuna river, and now they have undertaken that initiative, and now the BOD of these two rivers have come down considerably. Okay. So hope you all understood about sewage treatment plant, and this is the picture of a sewage treatment plant. So here you can see the different tanks which are there. Here you can see the biogas plant. So the biogas which is produced as a result of the sewage treatment is used for as a source of energy, as a fuel. Okay. So hope you all understood what is sewage treatment, what is the role of microorganisms in sewage treatment. Thank you.